Hey guys, it's Nadine and I'm back to do another by request video. So this video is requested by my friend Rashida and she is MMDO118600 on YouTube. I think that's all the numbers. I can never remember exactly what the numbers are, but I think I got that one. Anyways, if you guys are interested in project life and hauls, she has a channel and I would highly suggest you guys go and check her out. Now, she asked me about a week ago to how to go ahead and upload some videos or for YouTube, or how I do my videos for YouTube. So I wanted to take a little bit of extra time to show Rashida how I put together a video in iMovie from start to finish. Now I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible because I don't want to inundate her since she just got her MacBook Pro, I think for Christmas or something like that, or in October, I think that's what she said. So anyway, Rashida, here's your video, and I wanted to show you from start to finish, so that way if there are some things that I'm going to show you that you want to incorporate, I hope you take it and run with it. Okay, so very first thing, this is iMovie. Now I am using my older MacBook Pro. I also got a brand new MacBook Pro. It's 2015, but I have yet to upload all of my programs to it, so I'm not quite using it. So this is an older version of iMovie. However, it is basically the same things, okay? Just maybe things placed in different areas. The very first thing you're going to do is open up a file right here, and this says File. If you click it, it has a drop-down menu, and what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and click New Project, all right? So once you click New Project, it will automatically open up to this screen right here. So now within this area right here, there are a bunch of things that you can pick. You can pick photo album, and all this is the way in which your video will be put together. I don't like any of, well, not that I don't like them, I don't use any of these other stuff. I honestly just keep it simple and I use this no theme right here. However, when you have extra time, what I would suggest is that you go ahead and try different ones to see what they all do. But for me, I'm going to keep it simple for this video, and I'm just going to go ahead and click no theme, which I have, and you see it's highlighted in blue. And then up here, you want to go ahead and click or choose the title of your video. Now when you're doing videos for YouTube, I highly suggest you guys keep your titles simple because it makes it easier for searches and SEO and all of that good stuff. Okay, now you want to keep it to widescreen. However, there are other options. You could do standard, which is 4:3, or widescreen. I tend to keep it to widescreen so that it fills up the entire screen, versus this one it's going to cut off and have like the back black frames on both sides, which I don't really like. So widescreen it is. And then right here, this is 30 frames per second, which is really I think common. However, there are other ones. Now I don't normally mess with these two right here, but I usually just keep it to this, so that's just for reference. Okay, and once you have all of these things or your title filled out, here's another thing you can do too. You can automatically add this, different kinds of transitions, and if you click that, it has all of these options. Now I tend to keep my transitions, which is the things in between each segment or in between each footage, I keep it to cross dissolve. However, you can mess around with this to see which one you like, and I have it as automatically add, and then just go ahead and press create. Alright, so once we have our new project open and titled, the next thing we need to do is import our footage. So we're going to go up to File, and then the drop-down menu to Import, and then to Movies. Now here's the deal about this. You need to know where on your computer you have your movie files set up. So I know where mine is, so I can easily locate it. And here I am going to go ahead and import. So you click the footage you want, and then you go ahead and click import, and it automatically does its little thing for you. So it's going to be processing your video right here, and it tells you how long it's going to take. So this footage is actually going to take about 4 minutes. So once it's done rendering, you're going to see that the footage is going to pop up in the bottom right side of your iMovie, which is your workspace or your raw footage area. And so there you have it. That's where my footage went, right there. We have our new project, and up, so see I have project, which is what we just did, and we have our footage loaded. I'm going to show you a couple of things in the screen. So this is going to be my project work area, okay? And this is right here is my viewing screen. So everything that I'm putting here, I can actually see what it's going to look like right here. Now this down here is where all of my raw footage will be, okay? And those are the three basic things that you need to know. Now, there's so many things you can do with iMovie, but I won't go into detail in all of them. I'm just going to keep this, again, very simple. Now, I know that this is the footage that I want to be in the first slot right here. So this is the very first footage in the first sequence, okay? If that makes sense. Probably doesn't, but let me just go ahead and show you. So, in order to get this into this space right here, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and double click it. So as you can see, now let me just close that. Everything is highlighted. You see the little yellow lines, and that shows that this entire clip, and it has a little hand here, this entire clip is all together, okay? And so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and take this clip, and I'm going to hold down my mouse, and I'm using a mouse, and I'm just going to go ahead and drag and drop it into this first section right there. And here is that entire footage that I have right here, okay? So now I know, okay, so there's the very first part. Now what you're going to do is you're going to repeat this process until you get every single footage in the right sequence up in your work area. And so pretty much what you're doing is just piecing together your iMovie project, okay? So that would be the next thing you have to do after you import your footage. So first, open up your project. Second, import all of your footage. Thirdly, we're going to go ahead and place all of your footage in the right order into our workspace. If you have footage that you just kind of record all at once and you're good to go, then at this point you can just go ahead and upload your video. So I'm going to show you that really quickly here. So if your footage is spot on and you're ready to go ahead and upload it, what you're going to do is at the very top of your screen, with your iMovie file, you see that right here, it says iMovie file, edit, clip, view, text, share, window, help. You're going to go ahead and click share, and then you're going to go ahead and click YouTube, and what it will do is it will bring up your YouTube password and all of that good stuff, okay? So usually I put in my password here, and you can you can pick which category you want to do. I usually use how to and style. Make sure your title is succinct. You can add your description here and also your tags. Now usually I upload it in large format, which is 960 by 540. You can also do HD and HD 1080p too. However, sometimes I find that when I do it in those versions, it takes a little longer and I am a little bit impatient, so I choose not to do that. But if your footage is good to go, this is where you would be uploading. You're going to go to your YouTube page, you're going to click this upload button right here on the top right, and then it says select files to upload. Now you have a choice to either drag and drop your footage, or you can just go ahead and click this and it will locate your file for you. I just know in advance where my footage is, or where my file is. So here I have it, and I'm just going to give you an example. So I can take this footage right here, or this movie that I've already completed, and I would just drag it over and drop it right there, and then it'll start doing its thing. Oh yep, there we go. And see, here we go, it's uploading, and it's gonna take a while depending on your footage. Now the longer your movie is, the longer it takes to upload. The shorter it takes to upload. So there you have that. So that's the really quick and simple way of putting together a video in iMovie. But if you hang in there with me, I like to teach you a few other little things. If you want to stick in there with me for just a little bit longer, I'm going to show you a couple of other little tricks. For instance, how to cut a clip or how to split a clip. If by chance your footage is not ideal and you want to cut off some parts from it, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm also going to show you how to add some text in your video, and also how I put in my outro screens and add some music too. So if you want to stick in there with me, I'm going to teach you guys just a little bit more, and it won't take much longer, I promise. So you might be asking yourself, why in the world would you need to split a clip? Well, like me, when I film footage, sometimes my footage is not succinct, and I have parts in it that I don't really want to show you guys because I've either messed up or I didn't say the right things, so I need to cut that off, and this is why you'd actually want to split a clip. So I'm going to show you how to go ahead and do that in this next part. Clip right here, the very first part of it is kind of messed up and I don't want it, so I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to show you how to go ahead and do that. So because I've already listened to the footage, I know that I want to start my clip from right here where this little red line is. See that? Right here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and right click in this area, and it has this scroll down menu, or this drop down menu, and I'm gonna come down to here, and you see there are all of these things that you can do, but what I want to do is I want to go ahead and split this clip. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and now what it does is it already, you see how there's a little separation here? So it split the clip for me. So basically everything that's unattached, or the beginning part, this right here that I messed up in, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So all you do is go ahead and take that, and then I'm going to go ahead and right click, and I'm going to go ahead and delete selection. So now I have my good clip from the beginning of where I want it to start, minus the little blooper. And that's how you would split a clip. So when you're editing, basically you're editing, what you're doing is you're taking out parts of your footage that you don't like by doing exactly what I did, which is splitting a clip and deleting parts that you don't like. Okay. So next I want to teach you guys how to go ahead and eliminate background noises. So the reason you want to do this is, for me, for instance, sometimes my kids or my dogs make noise in the background and I don't want you guys to hear that. Or when I'm recording, you kind of hear some white noise and I want to remove that. So this is how you're going to go ahead and do that. Now, when I do my Talking Story series, the microphone that I use actually has white noise in the background, meaning it's not a very clear microphone recording. So it has like a little bit of static in the background is what I like to call it. So in order to remove that, which is something that you want to take into consideration whenever you're filming, if you have background noise or if you have that like staticky sound, is you want to remove it. So if I double click my footage here, it will open up that inspector box that we saw earlier. And if you go here to audio, now, well, let me show you a few things. Right here it says clip, right here it says video, and right here it says audio. Now I don't want to do anything to this clip. There's a few things that you can do. When I do tutorials, this is where you would actually speed it up or slow it down. And this is what I do when I'm fast forwarding. If I have a long tutorial and it's a walkthrough and I don't want to show you guys everything in its real time, this is where you would make that adjustment right here. As far as video goes, if I click that tab, it will allow me to make changes as to my coloring, which I do sometimes if the lighting is bad, but I haven't had to do that in this video, so we're gonna skip that one. But this is where you would find it under video. And then also, this is lastly is where I really want to be, is the audio. So I click the audio tab, and here you can adjust the volume or the output volume of your actual footage. And also you can do a couple of things like ducking, which is like it reduces the volume of different tracks that you have. If you have like a music over your voiceover or whatever, you can fade in, fade out, and enhance. Now this is where I'm going to go ahead and reduce the amount of static that you hear on my video. So I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to go ahead, and I know by trial and error that the best place for me to be where you can still hear me pretty well and it's not distorted, but it eliminates that staticky background noise, is usually about 60%. So it's right here. And then I just go ahead and click done. And that's how you would take care of your any kind of staticky white noise in your videos. And I want to go ahead and show you really quickly how to go ahead and put a title. And you see I'm clicking that little T right there. That turns it to a dark gray. So it'll open up this little screen right here that has a bunch of different things that you can do. And if you hover over each little box, it shows you exactly what it does. And so you have all these little very cool things like a sideways drift and drifting and vertical drift and all of that good stuff. So you can use this in your videos to go ahead and kind of fancy it up a little bit. So now I know, and looking at my footage, that I want to put that title bar or that title screen right in this little area right here. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, which one do I want to use? So I'm kind of scrolling through to see, okay, what do I want to use? And I think I'm going to go with this vertical drift. So all I'm doing is clicking on that and taking it and dragging it up to the spot that I know where I want it to be. Now you have all these other choices to choose from as well. And I usually just stick to a simple white background. And on the top left here, it has a bunch of different, it says show fonts. And basically you can choose the different types of fonts you want to use, or the color and also the size along with the alignment. Let me share with you really quickly another fun fact about this title option. If you were to drag this same footage or the same option over one of your still pictures or your movie footage, you will find that it actually ends up looking like an overlay, which is a really great thing to know for future reference. Let me share one quick tidbit for you. So with this title option that I've chosen, I'd like to add a sound effect. So as you can see here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click the musical icon, and it opens up a box that has a bunch of different options for me. And these are just the different areas on your computer that has music and different sounds. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and pick iMovie sound effect, and I want to use the cartoon boing. And I'm just going to click onto that and then drag it over the footage that I want it to play on. Now I know that I want it to strategically place it somewhere right where my two titles meet, and so that's what I'm doing right here. So that's another great thing to know, just to add a little something extra. Alrighty, so let's wrap this up. I want to share with you guys one final thing. Okay, maybe two final things. If you've watched my videos for a while, you've seen that at the end of my videos, I usually have two screens that are called outro screens, or people call them end slates. So ideally, you'd like to have these set up for you in advance, and I can show you in another video on how to go ahead and make these outro screens. So for me, I already have my outro screens made. I actually have two different ones, and all I'm doing is dragging them from my desktop and I'm putting them at the very end of my video. So here is one, the very first one that you guys are familiar with, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my second one. Now, when I have them in the positions that I want them, I need to make a few adjustments. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on the very first one, double click on it, and then it's going to open up the inspector screen. Now right here where it says duration, I know that I want it to be 9 seconds long. So once I put the number 9 in, I'm going to go ahead and click done. And as you can see, it actually stretched out that footage a little bit. Now for the second one, I want that to be a little bit longer, so I'm going to make this one 10 seconds. And then click done again. And then again, you see it doubles in size. So now the second screen, I know it looks a little bit odd because there's a humongous white space there, but never fear, I'm gonna go ahead and put something in there. So when you see someone's end slate, they usually have a link to their previous video or another video that they want you to see. That's what I'm gonna show you how to do here. So as you can see, what I've done is I've opened up one of my folders on my desktop, and I'm looking for a specific video that I want you guys to take a look at. That I'm going to go ahead and insert here. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pick one. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop it onto that second outro screen. Quick tip is to keep your thumbnails on a file folder on your desktop so that you can use it for this specific reason. So here I am. I went ahead and drag and dropped it, and then when you drag and drop it, it opens up a drop down menu, and out of this I'm going to click picture in picture. And now what you're going to see is it'll add my picture or my still picture into my footage. And you're going to see it located at the top right now. It's not going to stay here, and I'm not going to keep it here. You can drag and drop this wherever you want this still picture to be. So I'm going to show you that I'm just going to take it and drag it to where I want it. Now that yellow line signifies or shows you where the center is. So that's a great guide to use. What I'm doing now is I'm just taking the two corners and I'm enlarging it because I want it to, you know, be a nice size to take up some space on this footage. So I have that and I have it placed there. Now I want to do a couple of other little things as well. I want to make sure that my picture in picture starts at the very beginning of when my second outro screen starts. So as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that there's a hand there, and the hand will be able to move my picture over to where I want it to be. Now it's acting a little wonky, so bear with me as I kind of drag it back to the area that I need it to be. So as you can see, I'm lining it up where the highlighted blue starts where the second outro starts. Can you see that? And now I'm going to go ahead and double click that because I want it to be the entire length. So we're going to change the duration to be 10 seconds because I also know that that outro screen is 10 seconds. Remember, I showed you guys earlier. So